slide accordingly. Hold on. Let me see.
Yep. What's going on, good brother?
Brother West, what's going on with you? How you, man? I gotta really have something to say. When I get up here, it's because I'm really about to talk some shit about some things.
I feel that.
You know what I'm saying? And it don't even be nothing personal towards nobody, nothing like that.
So you know how it operates. I ain't been on there as long as you have, but yeah, it just something just says it ain't right, man. I can't rock with it.
Like there ain't no such thing as being on here and seeing everything gonna be all, squeaky clean. Like, I get that.
No.
And I ain't even passing no judgment or nothing like that,
Mhm.
Obviously, I done had, my little like not I don't even say situations like
Mhm.
disagreements and things like that, confusions and things like that with
Right
people,
on.
with people who,
Mhm.
I was cool with and all of this shit before, whatever the case. But I mean, you
Right.
just, when you grown, everybody had a different perspective on things and you just, I don't know, man. It's just, you
I
look at
feel
things
you.
different sometimes. You start looking at things different than how you always did. And it's like,
Mhm.
my thing is to not make yourself so accessible because people
Mhm.
don't appreciate your presence. That might come off like as some arrogant type of shit, but that's not how I,
Mhm.
what I'm saying. That's really
Mhm.
not how I mean it. I'm saying,
Mhm.
like, I spoke on it before. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was on
Mhm.
here before, and I told people about how I didn't like how some people will have the nerve to, like, point the finger, and they'll like make a big deal out of like who, like, shows them love, or continues to show them that support word that get thrown around. My whole point,
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
only point
Mhm.
with that, it ain't had nothing to do with this app, and it had nothing to do with likes and shit like that. It's just like reciprocation is a big thing. I don't care whether it's a relationship or a friendship, whatever the case, that shit got to be
Right.
50-50. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
everybody on here got a goal. Everybody on here trying to grind, or whatever the case is. So if you find
Yeah.
yourself on here supporting people for so long, and you turn around one day and you look like, wait a minute, it ain't never been the same way when it was time for me to, you know what I mean? So you look at certain things like that weird. So when people actually call themselves feeling a way towards me because they seen that I slowed up, and it was kind of like the
Mhm.
nerve. It's really the nerve, yo. And I kind of see
Yeah.
how when shit like that happen, I'd be like, I see how people really be getting into the whole back and forth thing on here, because what happens
Mhm.
is people will, like, put out a narrative. People will speak about a person in a certain light to the next person, and then that person
Mhm.
get a
Yep.
whiff of it. And then what it is like this, like, okay, they made that public of their feelings, and they're kind of like muddying this person's name. So now I got to speak my shit. I got to get up here and I got to clear the air. And then they feel
Right.
like they
Right.
got to say something back. That's how,
Mhm.
stupid shit. But I ain't never trying to get
Right.
shit like that, though. You know what I mean?
No, and I feel you. I feel you. That's the problem. See, again, even with me, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I slowed down hanging around the conscious community like that. You know what I mean? All the debates and arguments. And my thing has always been, look, we can have our back and forth, but we can agree to disagree respectfully without, what I mean, like getting all egotistical about it and making it out of some kind of gang warfare type shit. So
Mm-hmm.
I slowed down on a lot of that, man. I'm like, look, I'm better off on my own going solo without, being up here and jumping on everybody's panel just because me and such and so is cool. I'm gonna jump on his panel and it's gonna be all good. You know what I mean? Like I can't do that because now he got beef for so and so. Now I'm automatically included with the beef, even though I got nothing to do
Mm-hmm.
with the shit. And you know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? We done been through the hurdles before where we had people that we actually had the utmost respect for have their disagreements, and then
Mm-hmm.
other people come out of the bushes and they got us caught up in the whirlwind and it's like what the so
Get
that's
you
why
caught up
I
in
don't
quickness. Get you caught up in quickness. My bad. I ain't mean to cut you off. Continue, brother.
no, good brother, you're good. I'm just saying I totally agree with you, man. We done been through that craziness, man.
That shit
That's
real.
why I'm like, man, I back off this, man. Like, mm-mm.
And that's like being on here for as long as I've been on here. That
Mm-hmm.
type of thing, it ain't nothing new. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
There ain't never gonna be everybody getting along, nothing like that. And you can't make people get along either. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Right on.
just as
Right
long as
on.
those people respect the fact that, listen, these people, I can't expect them to go and choose sides, whatever case. As long as somebody respect that, I can respect whatever it is they got going on. You know what I mean?
Exactly. But hey, you gotta get away from this app from time to time, and live in the
That's a
real
fact.
world and do some real stuff. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, man.
Cool.
But I'm the type of person, I try to
Right.
put up some real shit, put up some shit that's relatable. You know what I'm saying?
No, I feel you. That's what I do with my wall, man. I try to see. Mostly, what I like to do is I like to think. You know what I mean? So I try to
Mhm.
encourage others to do the same thing, to think about different things, even if it's some shit that you never even thought of before. Like, to compare this character with this character, or this quote with that quote. It's always something different, because you can get on social media and you'll hear the same arguments again, the same conversations, the same
Mhm.
debates, the same petty beef. You know what I'm saying? But it's refreshing to get something different, even if it's in a little message that requires you to stop and read and think. You know what I'm saying?
I
So you
say all the
you
time.
posted some powerful stuff, man.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Like
No doubt.
the one thing I want people to walk away with whenever I get off live or whatever, just know when I was speaking on it and it was coming from a genuine place. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, the other day,
Hmm.
I put up this post that said, I'm gonna read it verbatim too. It said,
Hmm.
I came to understand not to expect the same level of loyalty, respect, and reciprocation. There's always going to be a different purpose, interaction,
Hmm.
and understanding with every individual we encounter. When you
That's
label
right.
when you labeled someone, just remember there was a reason you labeled them. So you also got to remember to treat them according to the label that you gave them. So I'm
Hmm.
guessing the people that liked that post understood what that post meant. It
Oh
only
yeah.
meant one thing. It only meant one thing. Um, I
Exactly.
think what my issue was for like the past year, just in real life in general, you got to
Hmm.
remember to deal with people. You can't deal with everybody the same way. If that person is a snake, you got
Hmm.
to believe that they're a snake. Deal with them like they're a snake. Don't expect them to
Facts.
be anything else. Look at them exactly for what they are. And it goes into what I
Hmm.
be telling people all the time. You got to move accordingly. You understand? It's that simple.
Hmm.
It's
That
nothing.
part.
It's no
Yeah.
less or no more. It's exactly what it is. If
Yeah.
that's your friend, okay, treat them like your friend. If that's your associate, treat them like your associate. But don't get the
That's
two
right.
confused though, because there's definitely a difference. When you got a
Hmm.
friend, there's some loyalty there. An associate, it might be business. They don't have to have loyalty to you. We might expect somebody to have, some type of courtesy towards us when it's like maybe they didn't give
Hmm.
it because they felt like it wasn't necessary. Because I'm a loyal ass motherfucker. When I feel like I rock with you, I rock with you. But I have made
No
that
doubt.
mistake. I have made that mistake in, being reciprocal and maybe if I didn't get it back a certain way, then I felt away. So I felt like,
Hmm.
okay, I can't blame them. I can't blame this person for that. I gotta blame myself because I should have known better. Because at the end of the day, I say this all the time too. We are on the
Hmm.
app and we didn't grow up with these people. We all built our rapport from being on
Hmm.
here. So you just have to remember that you didn't come up with these people, so you don't really know them as much. I know people say some people believe you can make friends and things like that on here, and some people feel like it ain't really it. I got a story for both sides. I know what it's like to have people that you really
Hmm.
fuck with, and to have enemies. And I know how I feel to fall out with people that you fuck with. And I don't
Oh
think I
man.
know one person on here who ain't been through some shit on here.
You know what I'm saying? I told you everything that you're spitting right now, brother. I'm 100% to the science with it. Like that's truth. This app can be crazy, but it shouldn't be that way. You know what I'm saying? It's like it don't take much for something like social media to be a place where you can come together, network, congregate. But they turn this into the streets. So the same craziness you see outside your front door is the same craziness you see going on into a digital app that's in your hand. Like it's crazy, man.
Mhm. except nobody except nobody gets touched like that, and that's the main reason why people do what they do, because there's no
Hmm.
consequence. I mean, what you going the only
Right.
thing you can do, if anything, is maybe report something they put up at them. They might take it down, and then they might just be able to get that shit put back up there, so that ain't doing
Yeah.
nothing. They
No,
do.
not
So
really.
as long as I've been on here, they always called this the YouTube streets, and I understood it, but I ain't really get it. I'm like, y'all really acting like so y'all banging on the app, but ain't nobody getting hurt with it.
Yep.
Honestly, I don't wish nothing on nobody, Keith, but I always felt that if more
Mhm.
people got their ass whipped over the shit that happened on here, there would be less other shit that happened on here. That's how I always felt. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, that's real talk. Mike, hey, look, I think I put a quote about Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? The internet's got everybody all bold until they get hit in the mouth. You know what I mean? So that's real. Oh yeah, people. That's what emboldens people because they know there's no repercussions behind this. There's no discipline behind these negative actions. So they feel emboldened to keep doing it and being rude and disrespectful. Like, and then an incident happens where somebody ends up going to somebody's city or state or meeting up with somebody, because I've seen that happen too. You know what I mean? With the conscious community. They get mad because his information seems to be more resourceful than his information. So now they put pictures of their family up and their kids up. I'm like, damn. And then they wonder why we look the way we look as a people. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? It's one
Mm-hmm.
thing that we're out physically doing this shit, but mentally we're all on this app using our minds and communicating based on our voice and or we're not physically like shaking hands and touching personally. So that says a lot about where most of our minds are at. So nah, man, I don't. Mm-mm. That's why I only congregate to only a certain few, man. I try not to go all over the place unless I'm in the chat, just listening and observing and getting a feel for what's going on.
For sure, for sure. And everybody got their own everybody got their own purpose for why they on here. So it's
No
like
doubt.
at
Hmm.
the same time, you try not to judge, but I don't even call it judging. I just have a straight up opinion of it. It should be looking stupid, like when people are chasing like the money aspect of it. If they
Hmm.
can't with them doing all of that extra shit, like I kind of liken that to Charleston White is, right? The old dude,
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm familiar
Like
with him.
somebody like him, like only doing the shit that he does because he knows there's a benefit to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
There's a
yeah,
financial gain from it, so he can
yeah.
come on here and he can play whether he playing a character or not. I believe that's really him doing it. But that's just I don't know, man. It's like selling your soul. Like if I can't come on here and be myself, I don't even want to be on
Mhm.
here. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, I think about how when people watch my shit back, I don't care if they like what I was saying, if they thought it was born or whatever the case, but that was realist, really, really being realist. Like, it wasn't no fake shit going on with that. Everything
You
that
were
man
being
said out
genuine,
his
man.
mouth, I try to say shit that I feel like people can relate to or whatever the case, but to put on a whole facade just for, like a couple of dollars, that's a little too much right there.
Yeah. So you got to be genuine. That's why I have so much respect for you because you're genuine. You know what I mean? And it ain't just you, it's Keymosh and so many other ones out there. Just be yourself. Be genuine. You don't have to put up a front. You know what I
Right.
mean? Especially to people that's constantly coming there and talking to you and don't mind getting on your panels or coming to your chat and saying hello, hitting a like. These things are not a problem. It's just that communication. You know what I mean? That's what we come together to do. While others are looking for entertainment, because again, in their own personal life, they don't like who they are. So they get on social media and they put on a facade and they create this whole new character that represents them. At least they want it to represent them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So no, I feel you about the selling your soul thing. People put on the performance. And all this is a distraction to keep you from focusing on what your real issues are. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
man.
So
And
it's a
like,
distraction. And I must say, currency is attention is definitely the new currency, dude. It
oh
ain't
hell,
even about the money. It's about the attention. If you can get attention, you can easily get the money. Then hit the cash app, get donations.
that's
You know what I mean?
that's
You
simple,
get that
bro.
going.
That damn
Hmm.
simple. Like, as a matter of
That's
fact,
simple.
I was listening to somebody last night who was saying some real shit, and like, it ain't got nothing to do with checking nobody pockets and nothing. But this person was saying something that I always felt like the shit that when people see the shit that goes on, like on there when they see like either a Charleston White or let's say
Mm-hmm.
a Hassan Campbell, for example. People like them. People try to follow in their footsteps because they see that they get into the bag. It's an easy bag.
On the content.
Nobody has to bring creativity to the table if they can just
Mm-mm.
copy the blueprint they see that these lazy motherfuckers put down. I got to just get up here
Yeah.
and cross a line. I call them habitual line crossers. As long as they
Oh
do
yeah.
that, they gonna get to the bag, and that's enough for them. They don't care nothing about. Well, what if my kid or my grandmama got on here and seen me acting like this one day? They don't be thinking nothing about that, bro.
No, hell no, man. Mm. They don't, because it's all about entertainment. It's all about fitting in. You know what I mean? And wanting to be a part of something. Me, I guess I'm a weirdo because I chose to be to myself more comfortable with being an introvert. You know what I'm saying? Besides my daughters and my son, of course. Outside of that, dude, I'm cool with rocking by myself. You know what I mean? I don't need to identify and worry about titles, labels. I'm good. I'm me. And that's all that needs to be. You know what I mean? But that's just how I rock. Other people need that validation.
Yeah, that shit
So
is sad,
it's
man. One,
crazy, man.
like I mean, some people would say that maybe it's human nature to want to have validation to an extent. I don't know. Maybe it depends on
Yeah,
who asks. But I
that,
want it
yeah.
if I want
Okay.
if there's something I want that I want from the people I respect the most and the people that actually respect me. I don't care to have it from people that are that are complete strangers who only watching me, you know, to to get off on me making a damn fool out of my damn self. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
looking for some drama that they can, throw at you later on. Well, maybe you said this, maybe you did that. I feel you on that.
For
I
real.
feel you on that.
But when I was but people they put the battery in the back though. Like that's what I was getting to
Mm,
say a little while ago. Because when I'm listening to
okay.
this person speak last night, they said it perfectly. They're like, yo, when people be on here like people can do whatever they want to do. It's their money, whatever the case. But
Absolutely,
people
absolutely.
they won't like like show that same financial support to somebody like a you or me or other people who might maybe be speaking like a positive message, whatever the case. Not no bullshit. But the people who be on here doing what they do, and sometimes it be the people complaining about the shit they see on here, but they be the first one to run and get that person a cash app for the bullshit they just did. Shit like that. It ain't about
Yeah,
body pockets and nothing
yeah,
like that. But that
yeah.
right there, that's a form of putting the battery in their back. You just gave them a reward for their bullshit, so they're gonna keep doing it.
No,
So
you're right. You're right.
who's
You're
worse,
right.
the content creator or the people who watching these people? Who worse? And make you gotta ask that question.
Oh, you definitely. Even though I can't flat out say 100%, but you got to look at the people who follow this foolishness. Just like me again. The conscious community. You know what I mean? I came on
Mhm.
this app not just to promote my daughters because they got their own little channel and they're killing it with their little animations and cartoons and their little music clips. So that's
Dope.
really what I came on to do to kind of like, follow their work and stuff. And then I started doing my own thing. So now I'm looking for different people who may be studying the things that I'm studying and looking up different books and different talking points and even catching up with some adults and having some, after night, after dark type conversations. You know what I mean? Something that's good. So I find myself a lot of times in these areas where a lot of these debates happen, a lot of confusion happens, and here comes ego. Not saying that that's a bad thing. It can be uncontrolled ego is a bad thing. You got to know how to control that. But
For
these
real.
cats, they need validation. They need a crowd. They need a following. Somebody got to be the next Umar Johnson. You know what I mean? Somebody got to be the next like you said, Hassan Campbell, and all these whatever. Like they need validation. So it's about who can say the biggest word, who can scream the loudest, and a lot of stuff that I listen to, I don't mind. My daughters and my son listening to as well. You know what I mean? Because I can explain, I can talk, I can teach them something. But when they're up there hollering and doing all this craziness, I can't do that. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But you're
Brother
right,
Bro,
man. It's
yeah, man,
got to be the
appreciate
audience. It's got to be the audience, man. That feeds into the content creator and causes the content creator to go to the route where they're putting out content because that's what they want. They want to draw a crowd.
Yeah,
You know what
man.
I'm saying? So they'll do whatever they got to do. But I respect people like yourself, Realist. You come here, you say what you say. You know what I mean? And I'm not quite where you're at, but I'm getting there, brother. It's going to be a little, a little bit for me, but I'm slowly but surely getting it. I'm slow walking this shit.
Shit, let me tell you something. I ain't really too much further than you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still like when I be like me doing the content that I do. Like, I still
Mm,
feel like sometimes I feel like I just got on here all over again. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm taking it day by day. Like, I have my moments where I don't care to do the content thing, but I was just like, I didn't like got all these damn subs and shit. So why not just do something with the channel? You know what I'm saying? Like, I
right,
just like to
right.
talk my shit a lot of the times. But I'm an upload person. The lives, like I say, I gotta be in the real kind of mood to, do the live thing or whatever.
Appreciate it when there's good content creators who actually have something to say and a message. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro, appreciate you
Uh,
holding it down for me.
oh, no doubt, no doubt.
Even though I'm on social media, I'm really not a social media person like that.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta have something to say. You know what I mean? Like I used to be on here just to interact with people, to kick it,
Mm-hmm.
chill with folks. And that's not that went out the door. Like if I'm
Yeah.
not on here for me, if I'm not on here to get
Mm-hmm.
something off my chest or to speak,
Mm-hmm.
to talk my talk, then I don't really be bothered with it like that. Even me doing the upload
Right.
thing, like I do my little reaction thing. People know me for the battle rap thing, but I switched it up and I started doing like the reaction thing. You know what I mean? Just because you see a
Mm-hmm.
lot of crazy shit that they make the world makes it easy because you see a lot of crazy shit on the daily. So I'm like, I could do that easily right there. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you get on the internet or anytime you look on TV, you will always see some wild shit going on in the world that make you want to just speak on it real quick. So.
No doubt. And you know what, Realist, to be real with you, I think it was that. No, I can't even say I think. I know for a solid fact. It was the content of you reacting to things is what caught my attention more than the battle rap thing. Because I mean, I'm not really up to date on a lot of what rappers are doing nowadays. I kind of lost interest in some of. Bro,
Right.
I used bro. I'm at the point now where I rather listen to instrumental music. I don't even like listening to rappers' lyrics. I don't even like hearing lyrics no more. That's you done heard the
Right.
same thing over and over again.
Me, like when it come down to another black man, another black man especially, I want to get the benefit of the doubt. You know how some people so quick to point the finger and say, "Oh, please, that motherfucker
Mm-hmm.
ain't looking for no job." You got
Yeah,
negative people who be
yeah.
waiting to say shit like that.
Oh
You know
yeah,
what
in
I
your
mean?
heart you want to. In your heart you want to give them the benefit of the doubt. But looking at the way things are, you can't help but kind of think a little critical and go, you know what, I can't put too much on that because it might not be exactly what I'm
Mm,
hoping it to be. You know what I mean? Then you find yourself getting hurt and set back. Like now, you said that this is something he constantly did. In my mind, I'm like, damn, because I had somebody come at me one day like that.
oh
You
yeah.
know, yeah, Father's Day, I'm out with my daughters and my son, and we're doing what we're doing, and this lady just looked over, father. Then I was like, what? And I got my kids now, and I'm like,
Mm,
you know what I mean? Father's Day, I got my daughters. I'm taking them to this little, it's like a little water park out here in Pittsburgh, and I took them to the little fountain, not fountain, to the fountain. And they're playing around, running, doing what they're doing in the water, and a little water spraying up, and they're doing what they're doing, getting them ice
right.
cream, hanging out. This lady just looked over. Oh, he's like he's some kind of father or something. And da,
Damn.
da, da, da. And I was like, damn. And this is a black lady now,
Mm,
And I'm not the type to say, black women do this and black men do that. As far as I see it, I don't see either one doing anything spectacular to criticize the other, you
right.
know.
Right.
But in my mind, I'm like, damn, lady, you don't know me. You don't know me. You don't know the kind of relationship I have with my kids. You don't even know what kind of relationship I have with my kids' mother. You know what I'm saying? We could be at a very cool
Yeah.
standpoint with each other or relationship. You don't know. You just happen to see me with my kids, so now you're automatically thinking, okay, yeah, so this one here, I think he this or he, you know what I mean? Like,
Mm-mm-mm.
I've been gave up, man, but just trying to deal with people and worry about what people think about me, I really don't give a damn. I'm just saying, bro.
You know what they say? They criticize Jesus Christ himself. So that right there. Ain't nobody exempt.
Yeah, yeah,
Ain't
yeah,
nobody
that's
exempt.
true.
I mean,
Yeah,
like if we focused on what people
yeah.
had to say about us, we probably wouldn't. Hell, we probably wouldn't even leave the damn house if we was so focused on people. Every time we go out the house, there's always gonna be somebody who don't agree or disagree with something that we did. Hell, there's people that disagree with what you got on, what you go out the house wearing and shit. You know what I'm saying? So
Trust me, I'm always in black, bro. So I'm always catching it. They're like, "Oh yeah, he always in that black." I'm like, "Well, that's the color I choose to wear. That's my color." Yeah, but you always in black. Like, what you gothic? I'm like, maybe. Well, you a devil worshiper? Maybe. What
yeah,
is it to you? It
that's
ain't
your
none of your
damn
business.
business. That's your damn
So
business
it's
for real, man.
yeah.
You
But
know, I,
no, man, you be wanting to give brothers and sisters a benefit of the doubt in your heart. You know what I mean? They're your people. They're a part of you. You know what I'm saying? You're a part of them. So you want to give your brothers and sisters a benefit of the doubt. But sometimes, man, putting too much on that benefit can sometimes come back on you, man, and you be like, damn, I put too much interest in this brother, only for this brother to turn around and let me down. Crazy shit, man.
yeah, man. Let's ride it out for this brother, man. This dude was trying to take care of his damn kids. Like, you know what I
And
mean?
that's just gonna say that's good to see because we don't get that a lot. Usually, it's the other folks. They usually get the
Right.
GoFundmes and they usually get on. So to actually see a brother or sister, for that matter, get that kind of support is good.
You never know who listening, never know who or what or whatever. It just sucked that, it came back like that. You know what I'm saying? When you really rooting for somebody and shit. Because like I said,
Right.
people already be looking for, shit to be a certain way. When folks say a situation like that, you can imagine how many people was already like, oh please, there's more to this story. And it ain't gotten some
Right.
people might say it's naive to like be wanting to give people the benefit of the doubt, but I can't say that. It's just basically just saying you're hoping for the best with the situation. You hoping that really
Right.
is the case,
Right.
that you got your eyes open in case. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I agree. I agree. Yeah, I agree with you.
Like I definitely learned like this past year, a few different things. I learned that you do got to be careful giving the benefit of the doubt. I learned that you got to be
Hmm.
careful how you treat people. I learned that you got to be careful. Really, you
Hmm.
got to be careful how much respect you give people too. You know what I'm saying? Like, not
That
everybody.
part.
I hate to
Yeah.
say. I ain't gonna say I hate to say it. It is what it is, man. Like some people ain't worth giving that respect to. And I found
Well,
myself giving that respect
yeah.
to people who
Hmm.
didn't want it. They didn't want to accept it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they
Yeah.
find out they wasn't really, they just wasn't really even worth giving that respect to. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't they didn't
Hmm.
deserve that benefit of the doubt and shit. Like it's times where I call myself trying to be genuine, and maybe
Hmm.
trying to help somebody or whatever. I'm sitting here trying to do a good deed. I'm sitting here trying to be what they say a good person, a nice guy, right? And
Yeah.
I ain't gonna
Yeah.
lie, that especially goes for respect to any woman that might come across this, but I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes it can go into the man and woman aspect of things because I found
Hmm.
myself,
Yeah.
trying to be that nice guy. You know how what's that saying they got nice guys finish last and shit. Now, first
Yeah.
off,
That's what they say. Yeah. I
that's what
heard
they
that.
be saying. For the longest time, they
Hmm.
always said that. Now, I ain't never claimed to be no victim because I ain't never that because I know I ain't perfect or whatever the case. But I have had
Hmm.
situations where it's like, you really trying to be a gentleman. You trying to be that genuine person,
Hmm.
when interacting with a woman, but they done been through
Right.
so much shit themselves with other men that they looking at every nigga they come across as there's a reason you being nice. You ain't no way you this nice. This something that you want. You really just want to draw. So I know that's what you want. You know what I'm saying?
See.
And here's the
See.
fact of the matter though. Here's the fact of
Yeah.
the matter.
Hmm.
We're wired to want to have sex with women. That's true. That's the case. But for some of
Yeah.
us,
Yeah.
there's more to it than that. And some women just can't get past
Hmm.
that fact, Keith.
No, you know what? I agree with you, bro. See how you said how most women automatically get that mentality or at least that thought process going where, okay, he's up to something or you want something. Just like I said about that Father's Day when I was with my daughters and my son, and they were real little, man. So this chick was thinking, oh, okay, so he's up here trying to flaunt and stuff. So he's trying to, and it's like, no, I'm just here with my kids. I'm not here to hook up with nobody or flex nothing. I'm not even here to show off stuff. Like, I'm just here with my kids. Well, why you got videos up? And then because that's videos of me and my kids. So
Right.
whenever they want to look at the videos, they can always look back at the videos. It just so happens to be that it's on a platform where everybody can look at it unless I make it private,
Mm-hmm.
you know, which I don't care, you know what I'm saying? Because again, there is some good men out here in this world who do care about their kids. There
That's
is. But just unfortunately, we get wrapped up with the wrong individuals. No, we don't even get wrapped up. We get stereo.
mm,
I'll say that we get stereotyped just because you happen to see my skin tone, my hair, my hair texture, or skin complexion, or whatever it may be. You already got a title and a label printed out on me. You know what I mean? Maybe everybody has their own little thing that they're into, and it should be about bettering yourself. It ain't about worshiping an evil spirit or angels, demons. It's about discovering a better you and looking inside yourself to become a better you. Deal with the flaws and accept your negative flaws.
mm-hmm.
That's where it works for me. You know what I mean? But you get so caught up in that area that sometimes brothers and sisters they get so caught off and off the rails with this information that they want to go off. So now, oh yeah, every male I see, he's up to doing this, up to doing that. At the end of the day, bro, all I can say is peace and gratitude to you and give you your space. You know
That's
what I
a
mean?
fact.
It's better to not even argue. I'm not trying to convince you because think about it, realist. Me and you can convince a good sister that there's some good men out here. All it takes is one goofball to come along and undo everything me and you just
That's a fact.
tried to delay her. So it's like, why even bother? All you can do is just lead by an example and just leave a good impression.
That's a fact. You said that shit right. Heck, that was a gem right there. I couldn't have said it better myself, bro. Yeah, man. That's the only way I know how to do it. I tell people,
You know, turn everything into a competition because it shouldn't be that way.
definitely,
But man,
definitely. Yeah, always, definitely always appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? You always show love. You always, kept the same vibe, same respect. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely appreciate you.
yeah, man, that's my energy, man. I try to give what I want in return. You know what I'm saying? And it's not a hard thing to do. If I give respect
Yeah.
and I'm like peace and gratitude, want to beef and you holler and you want problems, that's something you got to work with. It ain't you to. Then again, Willis, you know what? Thinking
hmm
about it this way, you really can't even say it's YouTube. You gotta say it's the individual. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right, right. I just said that last night too. Um, I was listening to
Mm,
somebody speak, and he was talking about the goings on and whatnot. And I was just like, you know what? It's at the point now we can't even say it's the app no more. It's the people on the app. Because this app, you can still use it for what you want to use it for. There's still good people on here and all
right,
that. You know what I
right.
mean? You just gotta find them sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But they out here, they around. But just like I look at it the same way I look at like the world. Like you
Mm-hmm.
gotta have, the decent people, the half decent, the good people, and then you gotta have the assholes too. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have both of those things to like keep a steady balance, basically. You know what I'm saying?
I was just thinking of that word. You just took that word right out of my head, man. I was thinking of balance because you need both. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of it all, you're still responsible because it's up to you to keep that balance. You know what I'm saying? So instead of trying to look for people that I can rock with, I'll just feel a vibe. Like you, I feel your vibe. I rock with you, and so forth and so forth. I don't go for now who sounds like the best person or who sounds the most educated or who's talking about something that sounds good to me. So I'm gonna go over there because that's a trap. You know what I'm saying? I got the vibes got to be right. How do you hold your channel down? What's your conversations about? How do you speak about things? You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you curse. I mean, it is what it is. We all don't. You know what I mean? But I get it. Sometimes you got to curve it because that might, some people don't want to hear all the curse words, so you might want to curve it for that purposes. But no, I just like genuine people, and you can just hear and feel genuine people. So I tend to gravitate to that a lot more than just the people out here looking for bullshit.
And for me, it's
Mhm.
just all about, that same energy. It's about, reciprocation or whatever. Going back to
Mhm.
what I said earlier, what I said about, about like the support thing and all that. It ain't about, listen, I
Mhm.
don't give a fuck about like nobody, like I don't give a fuck about blowing up like off of likes and all that shit like that. But it's like
Mhm.
if you got people who, rocking with you, supporting, your
Mhm.
goal or whatever you had going on, help you get to where you was trying to get to. When you see them trying to do the same thing, you automatically show that. There shouldn't even be nothing to talk about there. You know what
There
I'm
you go.
saying?
Yeah.
Like I stand on, being reciprocal. I don't care, like whether it's a relationship or friendship, whatever the case. Because if you ain't got, how people say, if you ain't got loyalty, you ain't got nothing. If you ain't got trust, you ain't got nothing. If you ain't got
Yeah.
respect, you ain't got nothing. You can say
Nah, I
that about
agree.
all those
Yeah.
things. Reciprocation, that's in there too. If you ain't like,
Yeah.
how can you
Mhm.
call yourself being how can you call somebody like a friend, or how can you call somebody your lady, or how can you call somebody your wife if that reciprocation ain't there? That's a key
Right.
part of any situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm
you're right,
definitely
man.
I'm definitely gonna look at you different. I'm like, I ain't gonna even say nothing to you about it. I'm just gonna, slide accordingly. That's why I changed the name of the channel, Slide Accordingly.
That's right. That's right. Hey, man, a house ain't a house without the foundation. You know what I'm saying?
It's a fact. There you go.
So you need that foundation, and that's another thing that I can't say that this is something I'm going through because I'm not a big content creator. So I'm not even like, dude, I ain't gonna front. A lot of times I don't be motivated like that. And I mean, sometimes you gotta like look at the people, you know what I'm saying, that really got your back. Like me, automatically. Like if I see you're going live, I'm automatically hitting that thumbs button. You know what I mean? I don't gotta think about it. And I'm sharing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how many people I can get to watch it, but look, dude, I'm sharing. I'm hitting thumbs up. I'm in your chat. You know what I mean? Good energy, good vibes. And if I get on your panel, I'm gonna do the same thing. I try to give that respect. You know what I mean? So maybe it's the foundation. Maybe it's just certain people you're expecting too much from, but then you forget about the people who've been there from the very beginning, or the ones
Mm,
that you know that got your back. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They don't mind throwing, $5, $10, whatever in the cash app, and you ain't even gonna ask it. They'll just automatically toss it in there just because you happen to be on at a certain point where they have it. You know what I mean? So they throw support. Then you got the people who don't have the money because maybe they're paying bills and the gas prices
Exactly.
going up, grocery going up. I mean, you
Exactly.
got to consider these things.
That's true. That's true. You know.
We're good.
Um, Going back to what I was saying earlier, like
Mhm.
this year I really learned though, man. I gotta go back to it. Like when it comes
Mhm.
down to like just the dynamic between like men and women, right? I gotta say this, like to the ladies, y'all gotta cut that shit out though, man. Like I get it. Everybody don't have their experiences with the next. You know what? I'm sure me and Keith can sit up here right now and talk about the negative experiences we don't have with women. But here's the thing:
Right.
last
Sure.
person did, or whatever we've been through with the last person, that ain't got nothing to do with somebody we ain't never met before. It's okay to want to be single, maybe not to even want to be bothered, but I don't really like ran into people who like really have like a hate for men based on shit that they done been through. At one point in time years ago, maybe I did feel like that myself. I was like, like excuse my language, but there probably was a point where I was like, man, these bitches ain't shit. I think every man that, believe it or not, every man or woman done had a point in their life where they probably said that about the opposite sex. But when you get older, you realize what that person did, that ain't got nothing to do with this girl right here. There's some people they ain't never gonna understand that. They feel like automatically, like that's crazy when somebody is so used to being treated like shit that they feel like there's no such thing as a man being nice to them. That's crazy. That mean okay, that's something you gotta work on. That ain't got nothing to do with me at all. Like some women ain't even used to a nigga holding the door for them. That's crazy. That's crazy. And even used to, you know, like a nigga, like I understand it. Like it's a different era and everything like that. So no, we don't got like no whole bunch of gentlemen just walking around and shit like that. You know what I mean? I mean they are out here, but I'm saying like if you want to be single, if you don't want to be bothered with dudes and shit like that, okay, that's fine. You know that's you know. I'm just speaking in general. I ain't going off of just like my own experiences. I'm going off of shit that I see. You know what I'm saying? Like if we treat people based on the experiences that we already had, like there's no wonder there's so many damn single people in the world, man. Cause you know the people that's actually trying to, you know, the people that's the decent ones that's sitting here actually trying to find this one, you know, trying to find something or whatever. They end up running to the people who, you know, call themselves not even appreciating it. So I'm sure there's some women who probably be like, why these niggas gotta be so, you know, oh, I'm just trying to fuck. I'm just trying to get this nut off. I ain't even trying to be with you, whatever the case. That's because them niggas probably done dealt with some shit with women they damn self. You know, I mean they shouldn't some of them are just dogs. We gonna keep it real. There's some ain't shit niggas out here. But we gonna keep it real too. There's some ain't shit women out here too. You know. I'm gonna put that disclaimer out there. We're gonna talk about the women. I ain't got no problem highlighting the shit that niggas do too. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Everybody done been through some shit. But I can only speak from a man's perspective because I'm a man. I can't sit here and go totally off on men for the things that men do to women because I'm not a woman. You know what I'm saying? I'll leave that for the women because I see these women who got their podcasts and things like that. You know what I'm saying?
hmm Real shit. Like you said, it's so easy for me and you to get on this panel right now, this very moment, and run down a laundry list of all the negative experiences we had with women. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, that really doesn't say anything. If anything, that still says that we're still dealing with our hurt. We
Right.
haven't grown out of that hurt stage. You know what I mean? We're taking our past experience that we dealt with previous people, not previous, but people from the past, and we're bringing it to the present, which is the present people, and we're making them suffer or pay for the bill that they didn't create. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that shit's crazy, man.
And it minds boggle me, man, when I hear men and women going back and forth. Now, me being a man, I'm automatically obligated as team man, so I got to stick up for every man out here. Like, no, I'm not responsible for every man out here.
Right,
There's
right.
some there's some good brothers out there, and there's some bad brothers out there. There's some good sisters, and there's some bad sisters out there. You know what I mean? It's up to you to determine which way you want to go with it. It ain't about, well, this group, that group, this group. No, how you want to go about it. You want to hang around the bad ones? Okay, go hang around the bad ones. But do not complain that there's no good men out here if all you're doing is hanging around the bad ones.
Right, that's a damn lie. It be quick to say that shit, man. You know,
Yeah,
some women just be having their mind made up. They don't wanna give no man the benefit of the doubt. They don't wanna,
no.
you know what I'm saying?
And then
I
you
don't
got,
know.
and then us being men, we got to be real too, man. A lot of us, man, we be wanting them hot chicks. We wanting them baddies and all that. Bro, today in my life, I want a straight up nerd. You know what I'm saying? Give me a woman that read books, that can, what I mean, can articulate, can, I need my mind stimulated nowadays. The hell with all
Right,
everything else. You know what I mean? Like that was
right.
cool back in the day when I was younger and I had all the energy like that. But nowadays, I'm older, man. I'm more laid back. I'm more reserved about things. I'm more about observing things. I need a woman to match that energy. You know what I mean? I ain't out here with all that, man. I ain't got that young energy no more.
Right. It's a
For real.
shame. You know, you take a look at how fast like the years be going by. Like I'm looking at gray hairs in the beard and shit. Motherfucking bones feel like they be cracking and shit sometimes and shit. Like damn, my ass getting old like that. You can't do half the shit you used to do, young. That's crazy.
Man, and I used to stay with long hair, man. I got a cut when my mother passed away. I got my hair cut, so I've tried to keep the look. Man, I'm starting to like my hair is starting to go back. I'm starting to hair receding and shit. I'm like, oh.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna be walking around with the bald head. Like too short to be out here bullshitting.
Yeah, and Bronze, you got a point. Yeah, Bronze, you got a point with that. Bronze say some ladies got daddy issues too. Yeah, I done seen shit like that before. Like I've seen women, maybe like in their 30s or something like that. Like this is just one example of what you call
Mhm.
daddy issues, and they even
Yeah,
used to
man.
like dealing with like dudes that's like 60 something years old and shit like that. Now I don't knock the age thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm never gonna knock that because for some of us, we prefer someone
Yeah.
who got a little couple years on us or whatever. It's a maturity thing. Even though people who might
Hmm.
be older than you at the time, they might figure, well, you were young and whatever the case, but it's like they don't know that you might have an old soul, whatever the case. You got to get to know that person before you sit there and
Hmm.
say, "Oh, you too young." Okay, if you're going by age, of course you're gonna say that. But you get to know that person, you'll see, and they ain't different from you. They got bills just like you. They got responsibilities
Hmm.
just like you. They only thing different is the fact you were born in '87. They born in '93. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's the mindset. It's the
yeah,
mindset. It's what what they put their attention to. You know what I'm saying? And what really calculate, what really resonates in their thought pattern, their day to day thought pattern. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes a difference, man.
hmm,
And just like he said about the what was it again about dad issues? Some of us, man, as men, we have mother issues. You know what I'm saying? We
yeah,
get
it
we
be
get
like that, man.
Yeah. So that's why I can't say that I can be on team men or team women because I see both sides in the same kind of situation in a way. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, who's more of a victim? Is women more of a victim or is men more of a victim? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't. I don't either. I don't see it. Like neither one really have any kind of room to put the other down. So
Yeah.
what's the point? Stop with all this back and forth. That's why I don't really like. I'll try to see and give a benefit of the doubt, but after a while, I'm like, all right, bro or sis, that's your opinion. That's how you feel. I respect that because if I sit up here and try to convince you that there's good men, like I said earlier, all it takes is one or two idiots to come along and just destroy everything I tried to build with you. So,
Exactly.
so what's the point?
But yeah, exactly. And that's why I think I was talking to somebody about this the other day. Somebody had brought up the man of spirit to me. I would never subscribe to that type of bullshit. I would never like sit up here just like straight up just bash and clown women or whatever the case. The only thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna speak on my experiences, from things that I witnessed and and just looking around at how it seems like the how it kind of like seems like the dynamic is for the most part. You know what I'm saying? When you look around in this
Right.
area, it's a different time, it's a different era, whatever the case is. So it's like,
Mhm.
I can just speak from, my own perspective or whatever. My own thing is I see why there's so many single people in the world. Nobody don't want to put up with
Yeah.
bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like from
Right.
us, it's like, damn if we do, damn if we don't. I'm sure these women probably feel like that too. But you can only speak from a male's perspective. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
sitting here, you
Mhm.
think you putting the best foot forward, trying to be that genuine, authentic person, trying to
Right.
interact with this female, whatever the case is. But maybe
Mhm.
she's sitting there, you know, thinking, it's too good to be true. I got to figure out, see if there's more to him or whatever. So they playing them games where it's like they making you chase them, making you like kiss their ass to get to a point. And then it's like, meanwhile,
Mhm.
he's sitting over here. They want you to kiss their ass. Over here, there's a female who's like ready and willing to interact with you. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
it's like we take things for granted as men, but women take things for
Yeah, we do.
granted too. Women definitely
Yeah,
take
yeah,
things for granted too. We all take things for granted. You know what I'm
we
saying?
all do across the board. We all do, man. And again, like I said, because everything you said, brother, again, you're spot on. I can't push back against anything you said. The only thing I can throw in there is you got to get comfortable. See, being a lot of people are single, like myself. I'm single, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can look at it one way or another way. You can look at it as a bad thing. I'm by myself. I ain't got nobody to share moments with. Or you can turn this into a positive and get to know yourself better. That way you'll know. the kind of companionship you want, the kind of relationship you want, what kind of union you want. So if you was to be in a relationship with somebody, you would know exactly what you would want and what you would need. You know what I mean? And if that person doesn't provide that for you, you can sense that right away. It's getting to know thyself, as they say, better. That's why I turned my whole situation that because I decided to do this. I can go out there and run the streets and get with any old thing, but I don't want to do that. I want to have a respect level about myself. So therefore, I'm looking for a partner who can precipitate the same thing that I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? It's about matching levels, about balance. And if there's no balance, it ain't going to work. You know what I mean? So take this time to be single, to get to know yourself, get to love yourself, do some cool shit to yourself. You know what I mean? Go to the movies, go out to eat, do these things to yourself. The hell with what people are saying. Because like you said earlier, Realist, people are going to talk about you regardless what you do. So
Yeah.
why not live your life, enjoy yourself, and get to know who you are, get to love yourself. And then that right partner may or may not come. But if they do come, you know you got a good one because you done the work already on yourself to find that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Instead of just getting with anything out here, and then brothers and sisters for that matter, then they wonder why they get caught up because you're gravitating to whatever's out there that looks good.
Right. Like the looks thing and all of that. Like, my God, like,
Hmm.
it's easy to get caught up, and how a person looks or whatever. Some people they ain't trying to hear nothing else you got to say if they're not physically attracted. And I'm not gonna sit here and act
Hmm.
like it's a shallow thing, but for some of us, I don't know. The physical could be just as important. I try not to be that way because the most
Right.
beautiful motherfucker on the outside could be the most hideous motherfucker on the inside. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
They just gonna take some time to see that shit. But it's a lot of these dudes, they be so thirsty for it, they get caught up every time. They get caught in that trap
Every
every
time.
damn time. All they need to
Every
see
time.
is a little bit of cleavage and a little bit of that, and it's a wrap. You know what I mean? They get ran ragged. They ran raggedy trying to chase something that they
Mhm.
to their understanding, they don't even know it's something that they don't even want. They don't even want, but they're not gonna, understand that until they actually get caught.
Yeah. Okay, like, all right, you chased her, you pursued her, you got the ass, then what? You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Then what? What's next? Are y'all gonna build something together? What could if you get sick, or can you depend on her to take care of you and help you to nurse you back to good health? And then vice versa with the woman. Same thing. Okay, you got this
Mm,
dude, you got some dick, you got this, you got that. Now can you depend on this person to have your best interest? What's
mm,
next? You know what I mean? So they don't think, man. Society, unfortunately, I'm not saying this as a whole. I'm just saying the majority that influence society, they don't think. They just do the shit. You know what I mean? And you got nothing wrong with doing it, but you gotta put a little thought process behind that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm human. I mean, hey, sometimes I do shit myself and I don't be thinking. But you
mm.
gotta catch. See, I catch myself though when I get too far off to the end. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on.
Right.
You know, what I mean? Like, damn, Shorty did look kind of nicer, but I gotta remember I'm at work and this is where I'm getting my money at. I ain't trying to get,
Right.
you know what I mean? I ain't trying to get fired. You know, it don't take much, especially being the only black dude on my job. It don't take much for them to be like, yeah, you know how that goes. So
Yeah,
I
man.
ain't just give me my money. That's
Yeah.
it. Give me my money.
Like that old saying, everything that look good to you ain't good for you. There's plenty of sayings like that, but that's
Yeah,
that's the realest shit right there, bro.
yeah, bro. That's the truth. Yeah, that's some true shit right there. Looks can
Oh,
be deceiving. Yeah, and look good to you ain't always good for you, man. Like I said, you can give me an ugly chick, dude. I'll be fine with her because again, I don't give a shit what people looking at. Think about it, like a lot of times, us as men, we not only do we want to look good, we want to have a partner that looks just as good, so we can flaunt and show it off. Look, man, you give me a woman that looks like a welder beast, as long as she got the goodest heart in the world, we
right.
rocking.
Oh,
I'm being funny, but I'm just saying, I'm being honest.
I
Like, I
hear
don't
you.
care. I mean, looks are cool and all, you know what I'm saying? But it's what's in her mind and what's in her heart. As long as those things are working, look, we can work on getting that stuff. you know what I mean, get your hair done, your nails done, or whatever, whatever. We ain't gonna do that little what's that BBL thing. I don't know about all that. Like that's a little too far.
Right.
That's that. I mean, I'm still into natural. I'm not into this. We
Man,
ain't doing the cyborg thing yet. Not yet.
man, I ain't into all that Build-A-Bear shit now. I ain't doing
Yeah,
that.
there. That's even better. I like that. The Build a Bear. I like that one better.
But
More wordy.
respectfully to any woman that's into that, because I understand there's some women they not doing the
Mhm.
makeover thing just to impress a man, but they be doing it because they're doing it for themselves because they want to make themselves feel good.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely. Yeah,
Which I
yeah.
can.
I mean, if you're, no, yeah, it's real shit. If you're doing it to better yourself, that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what I'm saying or anybody else for that matter. No, you got to make yourself happy. You know what I mean? And if you can make yourself happy, others will see that and you can pass that on to them and they can be encouraged to be happy. You know what I'm saying? You got to teach people how to make you happy just by how you carry yourself and how you speak and how you move. You know what I mean? So yeah, do whatever makes you happy. At the end of the day, just don't
Yeah.
get too consumed. You want to still be your original self. You don't want to, like you said, build a bear. You don't want to be all stuff for cotton. You know what I mean?
Hell no. Like I'm all I don't mind, just on some real stuff. I don't mind me a all natural woman, bro. I'm like cellulite. I'm talking about the stomach, the thighs, the
Yeah.
stretch marks, all of that. I made
Stretch
that shit
marks. All
more.
right.
I
All
made
right. I'm trying to tell you.
listen. I don't give a fuck. You hear me? Like that shit is
All
beautiful.
right. I'm
At
trying
least
to
I
tell
know it's
you.
real. At least I know it's real, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, what did Tony Montana say? You're a tiger. She's a tiger.
Yeah. There be a lot of women who be like feeling down about themselves because they take a look at this era of everybody getting that BBL shit done, thinking that they be having
Yeah.
insecurities about themselves and shit like that. They be
Yeah.
trying to eat right, maybe trying to get themselves together because they don't like what they see. They don't like that cellulite and all that other shit. But they forget that there's still some dudes out here who understand. Listen,
Yeah.
women have babies. Everybody gonna have some
Mhm.
baby fat or whatever. That shit is appreciated out here by some real ones, man. Fuck all that.
Real. Talk about it, brother. Tell it. Tell it. That's some real shit. I feel you on that 100%, brother. For real. There is some brothers out there who love that, man, because we get it. You know what I'm saying? This is life. This is natural. This is what a woman's
Exactly.
body goes through. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta, you know what I mean, take yourself apart like Mr. Potato Head. You know what I mean? No, I get it. You know what I'm saying? And when I say that, I'm not saying, in other words, you don't have to be impressed. You don't have to do much to impress somebody who actually understands and values a genuine person. You know what I mean? That's really what I was getting at. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But nowadays, everybody, you know what I mean? Like I said earlier, everybody on that pull apart shit. Like take one part off and put another part on and do this and do
Yeah.
that. And you're doing all that to do what? Now, if you're doing it for you, cool. But if you're doing that to fit in, man, I mean, that ain't gonna turn out well.
Yeah, man. I remember I used to have a Mr. Potato Head too.
I think we all did, man.
Yeah. I don't know what happened to that damn thing, but yeah, man. And it's crazy because
Mm,
going back to what I just said, like even though I'm sitting here, I'm saying like somebody like me and you, we would appreciate a woman who got the all natural going on, but
yes, sir.
you know
Yes, sir.
they might be sitting here giving somebody like you or me all
Mm,
hell. We sitting there, we can appreciate, we respect, and we give them praise for them. Not looking like a fake supermodel or whatever, but we'll be the ones that they
right.
give trouble to. It's like I don't believe it. You think I look good just like this? I just don't believe you. It's something else you want, nigga. What you want, nigga? You know what I mean? That shit be weird as hell, fam. That shit be weird as hell. It always got
That
to
is
be a
really weird,
motive.
man.
Let me say. I'm gonna
Yeah.
say it again. I'm gonna say it one more time. Let
Hmm.
us as men, damn right, we're wired to want to have sex with women. You fucking right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we
Hmm.
understand there's more to that, and this are some of us that look forward to other, the other things besides sex. That's as honest as y'all
Yeah,
gonna hear it. That's as real as it's gonna
yeah.
get. These other
Real
motherfuckers,
talk.
they gonna lie their ass off. They say, no, I ain't trying to hit, or whatever the case is. No, I'm gonna say, no, I'm attracted to you. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna want to have sex with you at some point, but I'm not gonna sit here and try to jump on you. I'm not gonna try to rush or nothing like that. Yeah, I want to get to
Right,
know you about. Hell yeah, I appreciate everything. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
right. And that comes with maturity, man. Again, that comes with maturity. That comes with getting to know who you are and having a good understanding of yourself and your values. You know what I'm saying? That once a man gets to that point in his life, some men don't even get to that point ever in their life. They still just continuously stuck in their childhood. No,
Yeah,
technically they're living in their second, third childhood at this point. You know what I mean? But some of us, we grow up and we realize, man, it's more to a woman than just her sex appeal. You know what I mean? It's more than just her body and stuff like that. It could be her intelligence. You know what I'm saying? The way that she speaks. You know what I mean? She could say some things like in my opinion, bro. I think women are the best teachers.
okay.
You know what I mean? When it comes to teaching, women are. I mean, think about it. I had a mother. You had a mother. We all had a mother.
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean?
Yeah,
Our
boy.
first teachers ever were our moms. So women, in my opinion, not saying men can't be good teachers. Yeah, they can be very great teachers. But women can be great teachers, dog. So at the end of the day, you got to know exactly who you are. Therefore, you once you have that understanding of yourself, you'll know what you want. You know what you desire. And the same thing with a woman. You know what I mean? Because the worst thing that I could possibly say to someone or someone can say to me, and it has been said to me before, and I felt some type of way, or somebody to look at me and say that I know them better than they know themselves. If I was a no good individual, I would instantly take advantage of that situation. But me being who I am, not saying that I'm a saint. Because look, as far as I'm concerned, I'm a heathen. All right, I ain't gonna play no games. I am a straight up heathen, right? But I'm not
But
the type to take advantage of people.
I'm agreeing with what you're saying. Continue on, bro. I hear what you're saying.
Word, man. I mean, so I that's my main thing. Like even with my daughters, I try to encourage them. Get to know yourself. You know what I mean? Get to know who you are. You know what I mean? Understand who you are. You know what I mean? And if there's things that you're not so sure about, look at that and work on that. Find some kind of good something that okay, your nose is a certain way, you don't like it. Okay, well, look at it a different way. Do something to make it better for you. Don't do something that's gonna you'll regret you did later. You know what I'm saying? Just
Right.
try to grow with it. And that's where it comes from. Therefore, you ain't gotta worry about, well, like you said earlier, well, he must be wanting this, he must be wanting that. Well, if you know who you are, you wouldn't have to worry about all the extra stuff. You know what I mean? You wouldn't be with this person if that was the case anyway. You got with that person because obviously there's something special and unique there.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just me. That's how I function. I'm a
Nah, you
good
saying
brother.
some real stuff. I hear what you're saying. Definitely hear what you're saying.
Mm,
And then also, of course, I gotta
mm,
say,
mm,
sometimes the physical, like the being praised for, you know, how beautiful they are, how good they look, that
mm.
can't go to some ladies' head to say, some of them
Man,
they can get a big
yeah,
head from it, and they feel
yeah,
like that's why some of them feel like they can treat some of these niggas the way they do, Keith. You know what I'm saying? Because some of these niggas be
mm,
drooling over their ass. Oh damn, you so fine. I'm like, damn, let me do this, let me do that. And then some of them are letting
mhm,
them niggas do all of that and still ain't giving no time of day. They just want to see what they could get out the nigga. That type of
yeah,
shit. I don't respect it at all. I think you're a
yeah.
piece of shit. I think you're a piece of shit for a woman if that's the type of time you want. That's how I feel
I,
straight. I got no problem saying that. I got no problem saying it. I
I
don't like
feel
that.
that, brother.
Don't
I
like
feel
that.
that.
Don't
It's
like that.
manipulation. No, I feel you. And I don't like it either, man. It's manipulation. You know what I mean? Men do it, women do it. It's manipulation. Even though, in my opinion, respectfully, women are a little bit tad better at it than men.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When it comes to manipulation, I know Kima. I hope Kima, we all good. No, but just real shit though. Now, women are because they're thinkers. You know what I'm saying? Again, they can be the best teachers. Women are
Oh
thinkers.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So there, when it comes to certain, and manipulation ain't always a bad thing. Sometimes manipulation could be a good thing. It just all
It can.
depends on. Miguel, what you saying, bro?
No, I'm agreeing with you. I was just saying it can continue, bro.
Yeah, manipulation can be a good thing or a bad thing. It just all depends on your motives and what you're trying to get the other person to do and don't do. But women, yeah, women, man, women can be, yeah, they can be something else. But it all depends on how you go about it. You know what I'm saying, and how you go about treating them. Same thing with men. You know what I'm saying?
Thing is, I'm sure me and you, we can both sit here and agree. We know
Mhm.
for a fact they're all dudes, and you can't compare, you can't put all dudes in the same box. There's some ain't shit
Hell
dudes
no.
out here for real. Some ain't shit dudes
Hell
that's
no.
looking to get everything they can get out of a woman, whether sexually, financially, hell, mentally,
Facts.
all of that. You
Facts.
understand?
Big facts. Big
But
facts. Hmm.
I know, this women who still put us all in that same category. But
Hmm.
I'm at the age, I've been around long enough to understand. No matter how mad I might be at this woman, I know this woman right here that I just met. I know she ain't. I can't say that about her until I see something. I can't put that title on her. I can't put that tag on her. I gotta see what she about.
Right. 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 That's when observing a person and just listening to a person and paying attention again how they talk, how they carry themselves, how they treat themselves. You pay attention to those signs, and that lets you know what you need to know about the individual. You know what I'm saying? And that automatically separates people. Now, those who are easy to kind of you can look at, they're out there. You know what I mean? They're doing the same thing that everybody else is doing with that sheep mentality. Everybody's following the latest trends and doing. Again, if you're doing it to make yourself feel happy, by all means do that. You know what I mean? As long as you're doing it to make you happy. But if you out here doing what everybody else is doing, you're pretty much contributing to the stereotypes that do no good for me, you, none of us. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy to point out those people, but the people who again took the time out to actually work on themselves and get a better understanding of themselves, they have a different vibe about themselves. They have a different aura about themselves. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? He was hitting it on the head for sure.
I can't be fake about it, brother. Just like you said, you know what I'm saying? Can't be fake about it. I can't be fake with it either.
Yeah, man. But because I like to hear, different perspective and all of that. So I appreciate you. I think to the ladies that's on that type of time where they probably feel like manipulation when it comes to who can manipulate better. I'm sure some women I think will say men can do it just as well, but there's some women who say, listen, you can't you can't be the woman at manipulation, faking the funk or whatever. The same way we know you can't beat a woman in an argument. You a damn fool if you even try.
See,
A damn fool
there you
if you
go.
even try.
There you go. See, that's another point. Another point right there. Women are thinkers. That doesn't mean that men were stupid. Women are just by nature they're thinkers, dude. You know what I'm saying? So of course their mind is going to be able to do certain things that I'm not saying there's no men that can do it, but women are going to have that certain mindset. They're planners, dude. The perfect planners,
Mm-hmm.
perfect teachers. Women, you got to give them their dues. You got to. But it's up to them if they want to use this for something positive or something negative. And in this society, most men and women usually use their talents, their gifts, if you want to say blessings or their magic, whatever you want to call it, they use it for all the wrong shit. Then they wonder why all this negative stuff is coming to them and all they see is negative. Because you're using your gifts for all the wrong stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Being honest, bro.
Now you talking that
Just being
real.
honest.
Listen, I ain't gonna debate with you about nothing you just said, man. You know what I mean?
Appreciate it, bro.
Raw
Because
stuff.
we on key. We on key with it, bro.
Always appreciate it, 'cause
Because I like to work alone for the most part. I don't like working in a crowd. I'm always
that's
doing
like me. That's like me. I always kind of been like a lone wolf. You know what I'm saying? For the most part.
Right.
I don't really care too much about like the group thing and all that other shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even when I do these lives, like some people might feel a way to have, like, let's say 4 or 5 people watching them because there's some people so used to having like 40, 50, 60, 70. I like a small little intimate crowd because I'm gonna talk my shit
Yep.
regardless. You know what I'm saying?
Regardless.
I don't like to
Regardless.
see a whole bunch of comments going up the screen flying and I can't even keep up with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shit would
I
throw me
feel you.
off.
I've been around. I've seen how that goes. I'm like, whoa. But you know what? I have to say this too to be clear because, I'm gonna say this because this is something that I've noticed. I didn't really hear anybody say this to me, but this is something that I've noticed of me. I don't try to speak negative about groups. You know what I'm saying? But usually, a lot of times when groups come together, at the end of it all, it usually crumbles or falls apart. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So coming together from the very beginning, it has to be a natural thing. You know what I'm saying? Even though I push back a lot about being groups and joining up with groups, like me and you, for example, Realist, we don't have to get up here and say that we're networking and we're a group. We just vibe. We get on a panel and we talk our talk. That automatically connects us as a unifying force without us even saying, you know what I mean, that we're unified and we're up here putting it together and we're building. I don't have to say I'm building with you, bro. I'm doing it now. You know what I'm
Sure,
saying?
sure.
So I'm not saying I hate groups. I just prefer things to be more natural where everything kind of comes magnetically. Everybody comes together for a purpose.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And just instead of just coming together saying that we're this or we're saying we're that. So I just want to throw that out there. I don't hate groups. I just hate when everything is mangled together and it's all mangled together for all the wrong shit. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So, but I'm gonna land my plane. There. I'm gonna get my coffee here. Go ahead, Jules.
you good, boy. You
I
good.
don't want this coffee to get cold on me, man.
I agree with what you're saying. No, I see exactly what you're saying. You know, I think people gotta understand that, you know, when they try to force shit to happen, when they try to force things together, you know,
Right.
it can be like a domino effect and it can be, you know, unforeseen. I don't know if I want to use the word consequences. I don't want to say that. Um
Yeah. You would be
it's like
right if you did. You would be right if you did, though.
it's like I mean, let me say it like this. Let me say it like that. If you're trying to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and you're trying to force that thing together, that peanut butter and jelly sandwich might start breaking up and crumbling. But if you
Mhm.
spread it on the right way, everything will work. If you spread it on naturally, then that peanut butter and jelly sandwich might be the best motherfucking PB and J sandwich you ever had in your life.
I'm trying to tell you.
If you understand what I'm saying. You know what
Real
I
shit.
mean?
That's real. That's 100. Can't beat the drum enough, man, about that respect factor, man. You got to have that about yourself. Once a man or a woman can, get to that point in their life, because we're all going to make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? It's about
Yeah.
learning those mistakes and trying not to hold. And that's another thing that we do is we hold grudges, and sometimes it's real hard to let go. You know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
you gotta let go of them grudges, man, because you can't treat one person because of what somebody else done. One person done this wrong, so now you're
Hmm.
treating everybody the same way. You can't, you know what I mean? Can't do that. But it does make sense to act accordingly because you never know. You never know, man, about people.
That's exactly why I yell that shit out, man. Like,
No shit, you encourage me with that shit, real. Let's be real with it, brother. You encourage me with that. You act accordingly.
for real, man. It's just
Oh,
it's simple. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a
yeah.
simple. I incorporated that into just like my way of living, bro. My way of life. You know, in any
Mhm.
situation we're in any predicament we're in anybody we're in, or any, you know, no matter what type of person we're interacting with, as long as you move according to the interaction and the situation at hand, then I feel like everything gonna work out exactly the way it's supposed to work out. You know what I mean?
That's right.
You know, I ain't doing the overcompensating shit. I ain't doing the giving them more respect than maybe giving them more respect than they deserved or whatever the case.
Hmm.
I had to learn to kind of like check myself at the door, whatever, because I started looking at it, maybe I was expect. At times, you can't
Hmm.
expect certain things from people that you probably ain't had no business expecting. You know what I'm
Expectations, that's a
saying?
mug. Expectations is another dangerous one, man, because
And
you're expecting
also,
so much. Yeah.
we gotta learn how to make ourselves so accessible. You know what I'm saying? In a lot of cases,
Yeah.
because
Yeah. Hmm.
people don't appreciate. You know what I'm saying? They don't, or maybe might not appreciate what it is you bring to the table, or whatever it is you represent. Or your
Hmm.
own values and morals, or whatever the case. So, just this whole
Hmm.
past year, I learned so much that I'm still applying. I ain't there yet, but I'm still applying certain things. You know what I'm saying? You can't
Right. Yeah.
you can't. So, listen, I could go on for fucking hours about this shit, but
Let's go. Let's go, brother. Let's go. Let's chop it up, brother. Let's go.
you can't give people respect if they don't want it. You can't.
Hmm.
That part right there. I'm more so saying that as far. I mean that as a whole for every whether man or woman. But
Hmm.
of course, I have to incorporate that into the whole woman and man dynamic, because, like I say,
Right.
you just gotta be careful, man. Like, you
Yes,
sitting here,
sir.
you trying to be the most genuine person to somebody who just don't appreciate it, and when it's said and done, they'll have you second guessing yourself. Like, well,
Hmm.
I did something wrong? Like, you think you know what I mean? Like, fucking with the wrong person will have you second guessing your
Hmm.
damn self. Even you know your intentions were genuine, whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that goes
Right.
beyond just dealing with women, but I'm just saying, like, humans, bro. It's humans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's it's human nature, as they say. It's human nature. You're going to deal with negative and positive. It all depends on how you go about balancing it, man. You got to be that balancing scale. You got to know what's worth your time and what ain't. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
I know it's social media, and we need that. You know what I mean? Social media is a good thing, but it also has its negative. Brother, it's real talk. I thought about this one day, right? I said, looking back at the civil rights era, right? They didn't have a lot of technology. There wasn't no Facebook or X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it. They didn't have a YouTube to have panels. You know what I mean? Where they were talking about, holding rallies here and there. They found ways to communicate, and they were a lot more unified. Today, we have all this technology, all this social media stuff, and it seems like as a whole, we're more divided than anything. Now, maybe that could be just a smoke screen for what could really be going on behind the scenes, because maybe there is a lot of unifying that's going on with these apps. So it seems like this social media stuff, and again, I don't hate social media because it could be a very useful tool, but it seems like we're more divided and we're more further away from each other, even though we could be speaking to each other as if we're in the same goddamn room. Crazy, right?
Yeah, it's bittersweet. It's a double edged thing.
Double-edged sword, man. Goddamn, Brooks.
It's just
Mm,
like some of us, we'll use it for what it's intended for. We know what our intentions are. We get up here and either we come up here to deliver a message. Maybe some of us are trying to get paid. Maybe some of us are trying to interact,
mm.
meet new people, whatever the case. But then some people use it as a tool to destroy other motherfuckers' lives and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's unfortunate. You know what I'm saying?
I always say, I got this thing where I always say, not everybody deserves to even like have a platform or have whether it's a YouTube account, Facebook account, Instagram account. Well, some people don't deserve to have it because it's all about intention. And if your
Yeah,
intention is to
yeah.
cause havoc and raise hell
Mhm.
and make waves in other people's fucking personal lives and shit, then it's like, you know what I mean?
That's real shit, man. All these different. Yeah, it's your intention. Some of us are actually here to get together and to not debate or argue, but to share thoughts and share ideas. Just like old Thanksgiving when grandmas used to get with her friends and they would share different recipes of how to make the turkey. So they would try it out and they would compare. They didn't make it out of a competition like, who can baste the turkey better or who can with the better gravy. That these were ways of sharing things. The debate was just to share notes and then go back and forth. It wasn't about who can scream the loudest or who knows more information better than who. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's not even just a conscious community. There's so many different communities that are on these social networks, and there's a lot of good within it. But again, like you said, it's your intentions. Because if you come up in here and you're looking for drama, that's what you're gonna get. Just don't get mad when it's your turn to get picked on. You
Exactly.
know what I'm saying? Don't
Exactly.
get mad. You was laughing and joking at somebody else getting picked on. Now it's your turn. This is, everybody gets a turn in the crew. You're part of this crew, so everybody get their day to get picked on. Your day, so don't get mad.
That's what I'm saying. I'm, like I say, I ain't perfect. There's things I can work on, this, that, and the third.
Mhm.
I do. I feel like I do practice this a lot. You got to be careful how you treat people, man.
Yep.
Gotta be careful how you treat people, because guess what?
Right on.
You might either treat them, you know, so bad. You might do something to them, push them to a point where
Mhm.
they feel like, they gotta return that, and it might be twice as bad as what you were doing. Or, I do
Mhm.
believe in the energy of the universe. That thing that come knocking
Mhm.
on your door when you least expect it. Some people find
Mhm.
themselves in situations where it's like, why is this happening to me? Why is my life all of a sudden in
Mhm.
a damn whirlwind and shit? Well, how was you
Mhm.
treating people good? What was you doing? Like, was you stepping on people's
Mhm.
toes? Was you out here ruining folks' lives? And be careful how you treat people. If you running around here treating people like shit, talking to people any kind of way, you know, um,
Yep.
anything, man. Like I just try to move, a certain way, man.
As
When
you should,
things
man.
I feel like something is going wrong in my life, I just look at it like, okay, that's just life. But I never sit here and say, oh, that's because of what I did at this point or whatever. Not saying I'm perfect or nothing like that, but I know I don't go around looking to, you know, to shit on people. I don't go around looking to make it worse for other people. Because what is that gonna give me at the end of the day? You know?
See, in my point, and this is just how I see things. You know what I'm saying? And it works for me. It may not work for others, but it works for me. In my eyes, I don't believe in perfect. Perfect doesn't exist. Perfect is not a real thing.
Right.
Therefore, I don't have the expectation to look for perfect because in my mind, perfect doesn't exist. You know what I'm saying? I'm focusing more on, again, with the balance. There's going to be some positive, there's going to be some negative, you know? And a lot of these negative and positives, I created. You know what I mean? You take responsibility for your negatives and your positives. You know, if somebody's out here acting crazy and they're yelling and screaming all at you, now you have a choice to make. You can engage and argue with that person, or you can just simply just brush it off and walk away. Because at the end of the day, that's not your problem. That's their problem. They're the ones who have to figure out what they need to do in order to fix that issue that's got them in that stage of yelling and shouting at random people. You're good with where you're at, so continue to carry that energy. You believe in whatever you put out there, you get back. Whatever
Mhm.
you create, whatever you put your attention and mind to, that's what manifests itself.
People don't think about that though. Me and you, we'll sit here and we
That's
give
what
that
I'm
some
saying.
thought. But a lot of folks, they don't think about like the way they are towards other people. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
people they'll want the most respect. They want to be treated a certain way. But it's like,
Mhm.
how was you moving? Like, was you giving that respect in order for you to want it? Was you giving that same courtesy? Was you
Mhm.
being reciprocal? Like, do you deserve what you asking for?
There you go. Exactly where I was gonna go. Exactly.
That's where that hypocrisy come in at. Because yeah, I
Mhm.
could sit out here and I could point out my own personal flaws and shit, but I don't
Right
feel like
on.
I go around treating people wrong and shit like that. Like anybody, if you ask about me, like let's say, for example, on this app, right? Like if you go
Mhm.
around, you ask people about me, like my reputation, whatever the case is. I don't
Mhm.
believe you're gonna find anybody who's gonna say, "Well, he ain't never did nothing to me." He always, like I ain't never had to, like if he been pretty much solid with me, whatever the case. And anybody
Right.
who say anything different than that, then I gotta be real. Then you better ask him. Okay, if you feel like he's this or whatever, then why do you feel that way? Because I'm the type of
Mhm.
person. If I'm moving a certain way, according to somebody, it's always according to somebody. If I feel like the vibe ain't right with you, then I'm gonna believe that vibe. I'm gonna believe that tap on that shoulder I'm getting. Like something ain't right with this person. I ain't saying that they
Right.
fucked up. I ain't saying that they this terrible of a person, but the vibe between you and that person. It ain't genuine like that. It ain't real like that.
Mhm.
It's not
Yeah.
authentic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anything
Yeah.
less than that, I don't want nothing to do with it.
I feel that, man. I feel that. And it takes time to get to that point, man. It's not an overnight thing where you can just instantly, get to that point where you can determine stuff within, again, one notion. It takes time. Sometimes you have to go through certain experiences and deal with people. Sometimes you have fallouts, you have misunderstandings. So how do depend again, if it's worth the situation, if it's worth mending it up with this person, you had more good times than bad, then do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? But if you feel as though this is not right, again, it's about you. It's about how you operate. Some people want chaos, some people want order. What side you on?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. It's simple. Like who doesn't expect back what they put out? You know what I mean?
Right,
But every
right.
some people that do be saying that, it's like, but you wasn't giving that for real. Like
Mhm.
anytime I get up here, like I always kind of like touch on like just human interaction and things like that.
Mhm.
Because that's the one thing we all can relate to. I mean, I'm
Right,
sure anybody can give you a story of their positive reactions with folks, and then and their not so positive reactions with people. Everything ain't gonna be
right on.
no damn peaches and creams, and ain't supposed to be like that all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's real. That's real talk.
And technically, someone can be caught, showing a little bit of hypocrisy at any moment. People don't say it, Keith, but anybody can be
Mhm.
caught showing a little bit of hypocrisy. But the difference is some people
Oh yeah.
show that every single day. So that was always my version of what a hypocrite was, because
Mhm.
we might feel a certain way today about a situation, and then a couple of days later, we might feel completely different about it. So next time we speak on it, somebody might say, well, you had said this the other day. And they might say right there, okay, you being a hypocrite. I just felt different today. So technically, you might be able to say that I'm being a
Mhm.
hypocrite in that moment. But some people,
Right.
they embody that shit. And everything they say is hypocrisy. Everything that come out their damn mouth. I done seen shit like that. And it's like,
I
wait a minute.
feel you.
I can't trust a damn thing you say. If you know what I mean? Like I've seen people who they
Mhm.
swear this shit don't stink, but they
Mhm.
constantly talk so much, and they run their mouth so much, speaking fast and all of that shit, and they
Mhm.
don't know how many times they done like how many times they contradicted themselves.
I
They
was
done
just
spoke.
thinking that. I was just thinking that
You know,
word. The word competition came into my head as soon as I was thinking it. You just said it. I'm like, okay.
and all you gotta do is sit there and listen. You ain't even gotta like ask them no questions or nothing. Sometimes you just let
Mhm.
people talk and you hear everything you need to hear.
Observing, yeah, man, and that's real shit right there. Again, people will reveal a lot. Just listen to them. It
Mm-hmm.
really will. Tells you a lot about themselves, how they carry themselves, how they think, how they socialize with people. I mean, just by listening to the tone of their voice, the way that they sound, the way they use their words, all of that. You got to pay attention to all that. And dude, I'd be in the chat up doing all of that. And and sometimes I could be wrong. I can't say that I get it right all the time. Sometimes I'm wrong. You know, I'm like, damn, this brother loud as hell. He hollering and cussing and snapping out. You know, but he only does that shit when he's over there with them. But when he on his own little thing, he's calm, cool, collected. So I'm like, damn.
Mm-hmm.
Your energy shift. But you know what? That cause and effect. Sometimes change is a good thing. You know what I mean? Because today I might feel like, okay, me and Realist, we talking about this, but then later on my mind will go somewhere else. So I mean, that's good. That's showing that you're learning. You're willing to learn and adapt. Problem is when you get stuck again, when people become hypocritical because they get stuck and that talking point, and they don't allow themselves to think any other way but that one way. So now your ego's coming into play, and you're allowing your ego pretty much to run wild,
Mhm.
uncontrollable. You know what I'm saying?
Straight
So
like that.
that's where the problem comes into play, man. Live on the panel with this brother. It's an honor. It is an honor to be up here talking to this good brother, man. And I'm learning up too. I'm learning too, bro. I'm up here learning. You know, you giving me some knowledge to go with.
I can only speak off, like, hey, one thing about me, I'm always speak off my own experiences and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm. That's right.
I'm not speaking to be right or wrong. I'm just speaking strictly off of my experiences and my perspective. Like my delivery might not always be the best and shit. Like a little while ago when we were speaking on, like the whole dynamic between, men and women at times. Like
Mhm.
I put
Yeah.
my disclaimer out when I touch on topics like that and make sure people know, listen, I maybe there's men, there's women in this world. You got some decent women, you got some decent men, but you also got some ain't shit women, and you got some ain't shit men. Like we both can
Oh
be
yeah.
ain't shit at times. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's right. I mean, that's a logical thing to think. You know what I'm saying? Because if it takes again, it takes a negative man to create a negative woman, just like it takes a negative woman to create a negative man, and
Mm,
then it goes the other way and vice versa. So again, that's why with that, it's about again going to yourself and just trying to decide which way you want to go about things. It could be negative or positive. And it's hard. It's hard to be positive sometimes, man. Sometimes you want to get out there and you want to act wild, and you know what I'm saying. You want to go out, you know. And then there's times where they make it so difficult to where you know what I mean. So again, it's up to you and how you function and how you move. And like my brother Realest said,
like people would try to bring the worst out you too. You know what I'm saying? Some people like have
I'm
no other
saying,
purpose. They have no other purpose. Some people
man,
just to bring the worst side out of a motherfucker out. You know what I mean? And some of them they be masters at
yeah,
that shit too. So that's why,
yeah.
things like emotional intelligence and shit like that is important too.
Hmm.
Like I'm the type of person, whether people can tell or not, I've always been like a natural hothead. Like, I know how to hold myself together, whatever. But as soon as that line
Hmm.
of disrespect got crossed, then if I felt like I was genuinely being disrespected, then that's when the other side of me come out. But I feel like I'm working on that because it's like the way I look at it today is like a person can. It's always it's the intention for me. It's the nerve. Like if somebody called me, a bitch ass nigga, bitch ass sucker. I don't care about the words. Some words don't mean shit. But I guess to me,
Hmm.
it's all about like it's just the nerve of you. It's like what make
Yeah.
you think that you could?
Hmm.
What make you think you could talk to me like that? What make you think I'm not a damn demon or a serial killer that can't transform me? You know what I'm saying? Like you
Hmm.
don't know.
That part.
You
That
don't know
part.
what the consequences could have been behind you doing that. You just don't know. People don't think about that type of shit.
No,
It's
they
the
don't.
ignorance for me. Like people, they just do the stupidest shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like they swear that they could just, just like step on folks anytime, step on people's shoes and shit anytime they want, whatever the case is, and there's nothing to come from that. But who's to say that? Who told you that? You don't know. You don't know that person like that. You don't know what that person capable of. You don't know what that
That's right.
person's background is. Because you see a motherfucker smile, shaking hands and kissing babies or whatever it is. You know, that,
Hmm.
that don't mean that person won't fuck your ass up. You don't know.
That's right. That's
People don't
right.
think about this type of shit, man. Be
Yeah.
careful how you move. Be careful how you treat people. You don't get no sympathy after you already crossed that line. Some people, they not even gonna cross the line. Some people will actually do a flip over that motherfucker. They do a
They'll jump
cartwheel.
over that mother.
Yeah,
Yeah, they jump over that motherfucker.
with a
Exactly.
couple extra inches to spare. You know what I mean? Like, shit, for real, man.
Yeah, he said with a couple of inches to spare with nothing but words on this
Especially on
motherfucker.
social media.
Yeah, ain't nothing but words. Ain't nobody really meeting up and throwing hands. I mean, not saying it ain't possible, but it's just words. Everybody's with you. And you know, bro, I have to say this. Why is it when brothers and sisters get mad on the app, the first word that come out their mouth is bitch?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Think about that shit. Yo, I was tickled, like, because I think a lot. You know what I'm saying? Especially when I'm to myself, I think. I'm like, that's got to be the first word that somebody on YouTube or social media says when they get mad. Bitch ass nigga, bitch ass nigga. That's the first word that come out.
It's the first word they go to. They don't know what else
Damn.
to say. You know what I'm saying? They think they be hurting somebody, whatever the case. But it's so funny how the ones they refer to as that, that so-called bitch ass nigga, it's like
Mm,
you would never. The fact of the matter is, you are only getting that across because you're on the app.
mm,
And
exactly.
got the keyboard in
Exactly.
front of you, you got the computer screen
Mm-hmm.
in front of you,
Yep.
but this would determine if you're a bitch ass nigga yourself. Would you be able to? Would you say that? And if you were in front of that man, would you actually? Would you let him know that in his face? I feel like a lot of people who be doing that
mm,
shit on here, let them see that person on here that they call themselves, having a beef or a situation with. I feel like a lot of them, if they would see them people in real life, they'll hit that corner running, man. I really
oh
feel.
yeah. Oh yeah. You meet him around. Hey, buddy, how you doing, buddy? How you doing, pal? Like, I
Respect.
seen you on social media. We were very good. That was really nice. You thought I was here to fight you? Oh no, 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 no. I'm just here to shake your hand and say hello. In real life.
Change up that whole damn story, whole energy to change. That's crazy.
Yeah, the whole energy just changed, and you're like, really? You did all this wolfing on the internet? Okay, but wait a minute. But I gotta keep the people convinced. So I'm gonna put this camera right here, and I want you to kind of like stand there. So I'm gonna swing my arm, and you can turn, and like I hit you, and we
Mhm.
can play. It's just a play, bro. It's just for fun. We gotta make money, so it's just for play.
Right,
You
right. They
know.
be using that excuse. I seen people use that excuse before talking about, it's just content. We trying to make money, whatever. Nah, that ain't good enough. Uh-uh.
I'm trying to tell you, I hear that a lot, bro.
I just stay in my own lane, man. My own vibe. Like I had made I usually don't make I don't believe in New Year's resolutions and shit like that, but I
Nah, me neither,
I
bro.
had
Mm-mm.
made one. I had made one this time for this year that I was gonna
Okay.
stay in my own lane. My thing was, if anybody I was interacting with didn't have the same vibe, the energy, if it wasn't authentic, it's like this. If you dislike me, stand on that. If you hate me,
Right.
stand on that. If you fuck with
Right.
me, stand on that. But whichever one you choose, just be prepared for me to stand on the same energy that you standing on. Because some people try to cop a plea and be like, "Oh no, it wasn't like that," and all this type of shit. I'm still working on
Mm-hmm.
myself. You understand? So I ain't all the way there yet. Can I be? Let me see. Can I be a little
Mm-hmm.
bit immature at times? Sure, I'm sure I can. I'm a grown man, but
Absolutely.
at the end of the day, I'm a grown man, and I got my own values just like everybody else. So it's like
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm just it's a
That's
process. It's a process. People got to keep that same energy. You know what I
that's
mean?
right.
And people so quick to smile and laugh and shit up in your damn face and this, that, and the third or whatever. They want to be treated a certain way, but they just don't know how to return that shit back. Fuck all that. I ain't giving no passes on that shit. If it's fuck me right now, this morning at this moment, it better be fuck
Mm-hmm.
night too. Stand on that
That's
shit.
right. That's real shit, man. About you, like, yeah, fuck them, okay, but you're really saying fuck you to yourself. You know what I
Right.
mean? You're showing me how you want to be treated. You're showing me how you want to be spoken to. If you come to me aggressive, you're letting me know that that's what you respond to. That's something you need to work on. I'm good. So whatever, energy you got coming to me, that ain't gonna affect me because I done came from my doorway, out of my place, already with my mind set up and my armor on.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Still trying to get your shit together. So that's something you need to work on.
Yeah,
You know what
man.
I'm saying?
I'm the type of person. My mindset is always I'm a leave the ball in their court because my
Mm-hmm.
interaction is always dependent on like I'm gonna let you how we interacting. I know I'm a respectful person. I know how to. Fact of the
Right.
matter is we can't give everybody that because some motherfuckers ain't worth that shit.
Uh,
And
they're
that's
not.
just what it is. That's the harshest way to
Yeah,
put it. Not everybody is worth giving that respect to. Their actions prove they don't want to be respected. Don't know how to be respected. They don't know how to accept that shit. That's what they telling me. So you say, so That's what it is. That's what it is. You gotta tell me twice. I'm not gonna force you. It is whatever it is, man. You know what I'm saying?
And, and props to you for identifying that, man. You know what I'm saying? You got enough um, critical thinking ability to identify that type of vibe in people. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Some people will get that and see that, but they'll go along again with it because it seems to be the right thing to do. This person's cool, this person's popular, this person's in with a certain group, and and I don't want to be by myself. It's a scary thing to be by yourself. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather be with the group. At least I know I got backup. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna put up with the bullshit, even though I'm being disrespected and being
Oh,
put
right,
down and all that. I'm gonna
right,
go with the bullshit, man. But that again, that comes with that mature level of thinking. Once you go through some shit, you gonna realize, you know what? Damn that. I ain't going through the day. If I gotta fit in with the group and be disrespected, I would be by myself. I'll deal with the unknown. I'll take my chances with the unknown and deal with some shit that I already know. You know what I'm saying?
right. I
So
was
I
always
salute you,
wait.
brothers, man. You one of the sharpest brothers on this app, man, bar none. So I
I,
salute you, brother.
I appreciate
Sharp,
you.
man.
All I could be is, myself. I make sure people know that I know how to present it to you a couple different ways. Like what we doing. I can address a topic this way. I can address a topic that way. At the end of the day, you know, I'm a nigga who grew up in the projects and the hood and all of that shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
But I
That's right.
can speak any way we need to speak. Any way we need to have a conversation, I can have it. But I just choose to have it the way I want to have it. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's
I say,
right.
like because when you're doing content like on an app like this, like some people can't resonate with you because of how you're delivering the message. So when I do certain
Right.
type of content, I make sure I switch up my verbiage sometimes and all that, just to let people know that I can give it to you however you want to give it. However you want it, I can deliver it to you. You know what I mean? From this topic to that subject to that subject to that topic, boom.
Mhm.
All within an hour's time. I don't need a whole lot of time to get my point across on shit. You know what I
There
mean?
you go. That's real talk. And you can do it respectfully and agree to disagree respectfully. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right, right.
Without getting emotional, you know what I'm saying? And being all uptight and, well, you got to hear what I'm saying. Damn, what you talking about? This is what you know what I mean? Like, what I'm saying is more important than what you're saying. So,
Exactly.
what I mean? You're right where you need to be, bro. You know what I mean? And I don't need to tell you this, you know this. I'm just telling you something you already know. You know what I'm saying? And that's respect, man. That's absolute respect.
Yeah, like when it comes to like debates and things like that, I'll
Mm,
never like. I'm not. I wouldn't debate with a person to try to get them to think that they're wrong. I'm not trying to get my point across to them that they're wrong about what they're thinking or how they feel.
right,
I'm just
right.
debating just to get my own point across. It's like, okay, just take this
Mm,
perspective, look at it from that perspective for 1 second, and I'll do the same. And we're gonna leave it at that. I ain't gonna tell you you're wrong for how you feel what you're saying. I'm just saying, just
right,
keep your mind open enough to hear what I'm saying. Sometimes you got to be
right.
able. An important thing I learned too, we got to know how
Mm,
to everybody, anybody who done been through some shit in life should know
mm.
this already. We got to know how to be able to put ourselves in other people's shoes, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, look, at the end of the day, the politicians, this shit is Hollywood to them. This is all some WWE stage bullshit. Be an individual who can communicate with the general public, who can speak to the general public and give them a sense of direction and a sense of guidance. We need certain things done as a community. It's up to that president to hear what we have to say and also work with us and help those changes happen. I don't get caught up with the Democrat Republican bullshit. It's
Yeah,
it's all bullshit. You gotta look out for yourself. And
that's a fact.
again, people are that's selfish, selfish. It's not selfish. You gotta think for yourself. You gotta save yourself. You gotta save yourself. You depend on all these people, man. I'm telling you, now all these people got buyer's remorse now. I shouldn't have voted for Trump. But
Yeah, you making it great again.
he making it great. Yeah, he is. Hmm.
Got your wish and shit. You know, people don't think because when they see certain things that good happening, when you talking about politics and you talking about the press, it's like it's never really nothing good to talk about. Some people might agree with some of the shit that be going on, but I never find myself agreeing because I thought the whole purpose of a president was to, was for him to do for his people, to, to add on to what his people, already
Mhm.
got going on, not to make it worse and shit. And like ultimately, me paying
Right.
attention to it, I'm like, well, damn, no. I remember when the nigga got shot in his damn ear, people was going back and forth about if it was fake or not, whatever the case. I was like, well, damn, why they trying to get Trump up out of here? Looking at it now, I mean, well, damn, no wonder niggas is trying to get you up out of here. And this nigga got the nerve to be talking about a third term. Motherfucker, you be lucky if you make it through this one. You
Damn,
talking
I'm
about
trying to tell
third,
you, he.
like what? You
Guess
talking
he
about the
forgot.
third term? Imagine this mother.
Mhm.
Come on, bro. Let me tell you something. I'd rather have Obama
Mhm.
back, bro. Honestly, if we talking about third terms, I'd rather have Obama back. On some real shit, I would rather have a president who people say didn't really do much than to have a motherfucker who wake up every day looking to do some bullshit, just on some dictatorship. Ain't no motherfucking president. This nigga on some dictatorship. Y'all here trying to like make it worse for people, bro. He not thinking about the shit that actually he is thinking. And this fucking
Yeah, yeah,
Elon Musk
yeah.
nigga, this weird ass nigga Elon Musk, like, where the
Uh-huh.
fuck this
Yeah.
nigga come from, bro?
Uh-huh.
Weird ass reptilian looking ass motherfucker, man. What the fuck?
See, it's both sides, man. I heard people tell me, see, it wouldn't be this way if Kamala Harris was in office. I'd be like, it's the same shit. The only difference is it will be a woman doing it.
Right. And that's why I
So
don't vote, Keith. That's why I don't
no, I
vote.
don't either.
You
I
got two
don't either.
you got two pieces of shit basically. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, you got the shit that got a little bit of sprinkles on it, and then you got the regular piece of shit. Which one you want, nigga? But they both pieces of shit. I don't I
I,
understand some people when they vote, they'll vote for the same person they already voted for. That's why he's in it. It's like I'd rather shake the
yeah.
hands with the devil I already know versus the devil I fucking don't. You know what I mean? The fact that they just don't make it worse than what it already is. Like we know they're gonna make decisions, ain't nobody gonna fucking agree with this, that, and the third. I ain't expecting no president to like make America. Anything talking about making America great again. I ain't expecting none of make America great.
They ain't.
Was it ever great? That's what I'm asking. That's the real question, motherfucker. Nigga, was it ever great?